What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Terror Table for episode 129. We are a horror movie podcast. We talk about what we've been seeing every single week in the horror genre. We talk about what's happening in horror news, and then we usually cap things off with an in-depth review / discussion on a chosen horror movie of the week. This week we're going to be doing a double feature in which we're going to be talking about ARACHNAPHOBIA from 1990 and TICKS from 1993. So we did this a couple weeks ago with Shark Night 3D and Bait 3D. We're really looking forward to doing it again. My name is Mitch. You hear me every single week. And alongside me, as always, I have my good friend...
Buzi.
And yeah, we are presented by the Saskatchewan Podcast Network. Who is currently sponsored by Connexus Credit Union. You can find all of our podcasts on the saskpodcastnetwork.com. or .ca, and you can check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There's tons of good shows on there. You can hear our former guest of last week, Sean Broom, who has the Story of You podcast. He's on there right now, or he's also on the same network, and he just had My Name Jeff on there, so you can go listen to Jeff from the So Be It podcast. We got a pretty big community of podcasters around us, and it's a really exciting time to be doing this. So check them out, and yeah. Tell them the teabag sent you. But all right, so I think we can pretty much get on with the show. Sure. Get on to what. So next week we were planning on doing Sleepaway Camp and The Burning, which is probably still going to be our next episode, but we won't be having an episode next week. So use that time to go check out any of the other podcasts on the Sask Podcast Network, or check out So Be It, or check out Let's Talk About Stuff, or Roll to Play, or Erie International. There's billions of other things that you could be listening to other than us dumbasses.
Or you could watch porn on Pornhub, or you could watch anime on Pornhub. That's a great location.
You can watch anything on Pornhub these days.
Pretty much. Like if you want to watch The Simpsons, I'm sure it's on there.
Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Well, yeah. Buzi, do you want to broach us? I think we'll start, before we start talking about what we've been up to, we can assess the question of the week.
Right. So we put out 2 episodes fairly close together, and I don't think it gave people enough time to answer our question that we're now doing questions of the week. So at the time, the question was, rate us a shark movie. So we had myself... I shouldn't say myself first. Myself, Sean, and you, we all made stories. And what ended up happening is after we put out the next episode and there was a question on there, people were just answering the shark question anyway. Yeah. So we have a ton backlogged. So we said we're going to extend it so we can still talk about shark movies, because lots of people wrote in really interesting stuff, and it seems like a shame to just be like, well, you guys missed out. Because we only gave them like a day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah, there was like no time at all in between those episodes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. We'll share everyone's shark pitches today, and then maybe we'll leave my question of the week last week. We'll leave that for next episode.
Sure.
But we can add another one at the end of this one, so we can have 2 questions if you want.
Okay. And your question of the week was, name 3 people you'd want to see it at a horror con.
Yeah. What are your 3 top guests that you'd like to see at a horror convention? Like, if you could have a convention in your city with 3 horror, like any your dream lineup, like who would it be? Who would you choose?
Big 3 guests,
and they have to be alive, and preferably choose people who do conventions. Don't be like, I don't. There's a lot of huge stars that don't do conventions, so
yeah.
Cool. Well, do you want to lead off with some?
Sure. So I got a couple ones here, and I'm going to read them out and give everyone credit, because everybody, it seemed like, actually wrote something, so that's always impressive. First off, we have John Allison, who runs the Saskatoon Fantastic Film Festival, and his shark movie, I believe the title...
Also, I want to quickly say, I'm pretty sure that Buzi knows that pitch me a shark movie is not a question, but that's just what you can expect from us, and I think you should know that by now. It
was supposed to tie into the episode. Is someone actually busting my balls about it being a question or not?
You're like, my question is, pitch me a shark movie. It's like, that's not a question, but I know what you meant, so, and I think everyone else does. So yeah.
All right, so here's John Allison's shark movie. Everyone thinks the first Shark Week took place in 1988. They are wrong. The first Shark Week was 1987, but during the filming, things went bad, with a killer shark attacked and killed people. The shark was eventually killed. The idea was scrapped, and all video of the attacks were destroyed due to the graphic nature. Now, almost 30 years later, A bootleg of the tape has been discovered and is being passed around through the dark web. Unfortunately, whenever someone watches the tape, they summon the spirit of the shark, which proceeds to hunt down the viewer. Fortunately for them, the shark needs water to swim in, so they're only attacked in swimming pools, lakes, rivers, and perhaps really big bathtubs. The only way to kill the shark is to find the fisherman who originally killed the shark and get them to battle it out one more time. And the name of this film is called Shark U.
Oh my god.
So that's from John Allison.
Yes. So it's got some, so it's like some Ring U vibes.
Yeah. Next one is from my name Jeff.
Jeff.
So I don't think this angle has been done. Could be wrong. Not a shark movie expert, but it really should be. One of the most fucked up things I found out years ago is bull sharks can live in freshwater and they kill people. Maybe an idea. Oh, he's like broaching this. He's not actually giving me a story. Oh. Maybe an idea of a bunch of teens swimming at Cranberry Flats, which is our local cesspool of water. Cranberry Flats type place with a shark in the water. So it's shallow enough to maybe walk across, but it's also river. So there's a current. Unpredictable. To survive, they have to get across the river in some way. That'll give the characters chances to get creative. Something would have to be written in to prevent the teens from going back the way they came from. Admittedly, it's a little derivative of the Shallows, a point A to point B thing, but you could actually make a good movie out of it. I think it would just instead of
just a whole bunch of pitches.
This is like if I ordered a burger and they gave me all this stuff and they're like, I don't know, you could put like the bun over here and the lettuce here. Like he gave
it's
me
like a Fuddruckers situation where you get the burger, but it's like go dress it yourself.
Yeah. And the next one is from Bryson, and he just DM'd me this one. So it says, "You ready?" ? Super fast, makes no sense, probably dumb shark movie. Boy is out surfing one day, gets a tiny bite from a shark, goes to the doctor, gets it stitched up. Everything seems fine, right? Well, later that night, he's hanging with his girlfriend, and they decide to take a shower together. Whew, it's getting spicy already. When the boy gets hit with water, he starts to mutate, like American Werewolf style, and gets shark teeth and and kills his girlfriend. But since he's not in a pool, when his legs are changing, he falls out of the shower and turns back to a normal guy. So basically, every time he touches water and becomes a shark. Where shark? Thank you, Bryson.
I like to think that he just stays a shark for a while, or like for as long as the full moon is happening, and so he just like kind of flops on the ground.
Yeah, so like what would happen if it was raining? Would he just be like, well, I'm a shark?
Yeah, he could just run around and be like, I'm a shark.
Oh man, if he was a kid and having one of those like super soaker fights, every 5 seconds he's a shark.
Yes. Okay, I got the first one I'm going to read is from our friend Darcy at the 3,000 Movies to Die Before You Watch podcast. He says, "What's up, Rotato Chips? Here's your favorite hipster fuck here. By the way, digging the new title, fuck you very much, Mitch." I think you said that, but I'll take credit for it. He was saying, fuck you very much, Mitch, like saying that I'm the one who called him a hipster fuck.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that was all of us.
Well, yeah, I think I started that. I'm sorry.
Whatever, fuck him.
Fuck him.
Shark movie pitch. Sharky and George live-action gritty reboot. For those of you who don't know, Sharky and George are the crime busters of the sea. Devin Townsend will be playing Sharky, and Brian Posehn will be playing George. Chicago, do you remember Sharky and George?
I have no fucking idea.
You don't know Sharky and George is? Actually, wait until I'm done this and then look up, because I remember Sharky and George vividly, except for I can't remember how it's pronounced, but Chicago, I'm just going to say. Chicago is plunged into darkness when a local fishery captures many of the citizens using massive nets. Sharky and George are the only hope of rescue for the citizens of Chicago. The intrepid heroes set out to the free citizens of Chicago. Sharky and George descend upon small fishing and beach communities, terrorizing the waters in a bloody quest for vengeance. Meanwhile, Big Fishery and its shadowy puppet masters put in place their best undercover operative to take down the menace to their operations. George is killed in an exciting final climactic battle, and Sharky vows to kill the entire family of the operative who ended George's life. And that... Oper. I think he's meant, and that's over. Oh.
It felt like it was leading right into, like, the last Jaws movie, where it just follows them to, like, Jamaica.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Darcy. And, I'm still waiting on a live-action shark, Street Sharks.
Oh, that would rip.
Have you seen the, some people made, fan edits of, like, what shark street sharks would look like if they were live action.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like in the style of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies where they all looked like what's his name? Who's that fucking hockey player? Never mind. Sorry.
The fuck are you talking about?
There's a hockey player that I always say looks like him. But anyways, okay, Daniel Epler from the Cobwebs podcast delivering the heat here. So here's his shark pitch.
Getting all sweaty just waiting for it.
You know the term "jump the shark"? You know how that came from the show Happy Days, where Henry Winkler as the Fonz literally jumps as a shark, and now everyone uses the term as a movie or show getting too ridiculous? Well, here's my movie. An old grizzled Henry Winkler is angry at the world for his failed movie career. He thought he would be a major star, but it never happened. He blames the shark. That damn shark he jumped ruined his life. He decides to get revenge. My movie is a multi-year voyage of an insane old man driven by revenge, trying to find and kill his great white shark. Think Moby Dick with the Fonz. The title, Jump the Shark, directed by Alejandro Inarritu. Yes. Okay, now that shit show is out of the way, here are my horror icons.
Wait. Can we save those for later?
Yeah.
Because we're going to answer these next episode.
Yes, even though I'm just going to say I love all of your picks, Daniel. So we'll talk about those next week.
Yes.
But yes, Jump the Shark, coming to a theater near you. God, I'm
gonna look at these tonight and see if I can figure out a way to make really shitty posters out of these.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Okay, and then we got the last pitch that we're going to read today is our friend Jason Hamill, who I need to give a shout out for. Jason just messaged me like 2 weeks ago being like, hey, I sent you something, don't be weird about it. And so I was like, fuck's sakes, like I've talked about him many times on the show. I don't need to tell everyone again that he is insane, but he's insane. And I came home and he got me a Criterion copy of Blue Velvet, which is like insanely nice. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah. And I was just like, he made a comment about how like Criterion ships from Amazon. I was like, there's no way Jason got me a Criterion movie. I was like, I'm probably going to get some like a dirty pair of his underwear in the mail. Like that's what the kind of thing Jason would do.
Yeah. And then you'd be like, don't be weird about it. Seriously.
Yeah,
keep
exactly.
that though.
But no, fucking, I still have, like, we started recording this 20 minutes after I got home from work. As you can tell, I'm tired. So I'm going to message Jason later, but if he hears this first for some reason, thank you very much. That's fucking awesome. I can't wait to watch it. Okay, so Jason's pitch. It's 2022, and SeaWorld profits are at an all-time high. Increased greed among the shareholders drive demand for more exotic attractions to further line their pockets. So when CEO Joel Manby unveils their tiger shark exhibit, the general public goes mad. As the money pours in, there's also a growing concern with certain activist groups, most notably the Aquatic Animal Liberation. And AAL devises a plan to kidnap and set the captive sharks free. Success seems within arm's reach once they have loaded them into the trucks, but things are about to get much worse when it is revealed that the water trucks they are using are stolen. With an increasing police presence turned into a downright chase, hilarity and violence ensure as the domestic nature of sharks soon become increasingly more hostile. Now moving them is proving to be much more dangerous than anyone could have anticipated. Michael Cera and Gilbert Gottfried in Shark Heist. Shark Heist 3D. And I just want to say that he pitched me a shark movie off of air that I'm not going to read here, but it is... It's exactly what you'd expect from Jason. And
he actually sent me the same thing and then was like, we need to write a horror movie about bros and NOS energy drinks. Yeah. And him and me just like went back and forth about it. So there's like Vin Diesel and like a twin brother and they don't see eye to eye and they have like a huge fight, but they're also wearing those like flipped visors backwards and shit. We just kept going. And then he sent me a video of Linkin Park crawling at one point. just fucking... Yeah.
That's the type. Did you see the thing he posted on my wall?
No.
I think it was David Bowie meshed up with Evanescence singing Wake Me Up. And then in the background though, it's a video from the first 2 months of the podcast where I'm pouring a rum and eggnog. It's just me in the background going rum and eggnog for the boys. It's like Wake Me Up. It's on my Facebook. I'm sorry, I'm making no sense today, but thanks, Jason. All right, you want to go on to...
Thanks to everyone. Yeah, that was awesome. That's kind of the whole reason we did this, is just to try and get have some more fun.
Have people talking.
Yeah, so that was great, and I hope people keep it up because I'm gonna try and make posters out of this. So if we can keep doing stuff like that, and you guys enjoy it, we'll keep doing it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Buzi, what you been watching, boy?
What me do? I haven't watched a lot. The only thing I've watched is BRIGHTBURN.
BRIGHTBURN. So you watched BRIGHTBURN, which is directed by Yarovesky. I think David Yarovesky. It's a James Gunn. Anyways, I'm trying to.
James Gunn produced it. Yeah.
So I went and saw in the theater. David Yarovesky. Yeah. Elizabeth Banks, David Denman, Jackson A. Dunn. What'd you think of it?
It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I saw you post a picture of it, and I was happy to see that.
I really liked it.
Yeah, man. People seem to be like all over the place with that movie, but I thought it was really good. Like I had a good time watching it.
I don't know, like the way you and Diego talked about it made it seem like really lukewarm or whatever.
Oh man, Diego said it's his favorite movie of the year.
Oh, I thought you guys were just kind of like, well, it was fine.
No, Diego's obsessed with that movie.
It was so good.
Yeah.
And I think it might have helped that I don't really ever watch superhero movies. So there's no like, oh, this is this or this is that.
Yeah.
Like I loved all of it. It was so fun, and like this is a movie that kind of was like, oh, it's going to be a horror movie, but there was some very good tense scenes in that movie.
And extreme violence.
A lot of gore. There was a couple of questionable scenes with practical effects that I did not like.
Don't you dare tell me a car.
No, that one was fine. There was one with a baby that was like pretty horrendously bad.
Yeah.
But no, it was awesome. I loved this is my kind of movie because it ends on kind of a sour note that like it made me love it so much more. And
I like the ending a lot.
Yeah, and then they extend that little universe to a bunch of other stuff, and I really hope that it made enough that they can do another one because I would love to see more of it.
I don't think they're going to, but I dug it a lot, and because it's one of those movies that everyone seemed to be, especially comic book fans, I think were pretty lukewarm on it. And I think it's because that storyline has been done so many times before, and they didn't necessarily do anything new or exciting with it. I think they just did it really well. They just executed that whole anti-hero thing real well. Well, he's more of a villain even than an anti-hero, but yeah, I don't know.
And it's awesome to see Roy from The Office getting more roles.
And not being just a douchebag. Like,
also,
he's a good dad.
He's a very good actor.
He's a handsome man.
He ever gets credit for... Yeah, he's like a burly dad. Like, he takes his son out shooting at one point, and you really believe that he would take his son out shooting. Yeah, you're
like, oh, you wear Carhartt good, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good movie. I'm looking forward to watching that again.
Yeah.
There was something I was going to say about it, but I can't remember now. Yeah.
I don't know. I love the ending, and I love the fact that they expanded on this universe without me even having to see another movie. It feels like that universe was full.
Yeah.
That's definitely how I felt.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, so that's all you saw?
Yep.
I went and saw Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
I'm so interested. I wanted to go, and it just ended up this weekend. Did not have time.
Yeah. Okay, so Andre Overdahl was the director. He's directed movies like Troll Hunter, Autopsy of Jane Doe, and it was produced by Guillermo del Toro. So everyone who listens to the show knows I'm a big Del Toro fan, and I'm a big Andre Overdahl fan. I think I'm the 1% that didn't grow up reading these books. So like I felt like I was missing out. Like I didn't know pretty much anything about these books before we started the podcast, and you guys were mentioning it. I was like, I think I've heard the name before, but like it was never Goosebumps for me.
You know when they had those like Scholastic book fairs? Like and this was the big shit.
Yeah, and I recognized the covers and everything, but it was never so. You know, it's kind of embarrassing to say as a huge horror fan that like Scary Stories went completely over my head. I just missed it. But yeah, so I didn't have any real sentimental connection to it, a real attachment. But man, I fucking loved this movie. I thought it was way better. It was better than I was expecting for sure. It exceeded my expectations. But it's exactly what you think that you know. I think I'm really interested to hear what you think, because it is very much just that more grown-up Goosebumps. It's still a kids movie to an extent, but this is the type of kids movie that would really fuck up some kids. But it is a PG-13 rated movie, so like kids can go see it. But this is the type of thing that there are certain things in this that would have traumatized me if I saw them as a kid. But you know, when I was just thinking about it, I was like, I watched Chucky when I was 7. I was watching Vampires at 9, like all that kind of shit. So I definitely would have enjoyed it as a kid. But I see a lot of people who not even a lot of people. There's some people who are bitching about the CGI in the movie and saying that like there was one guy. I'm just gonna fuck him. This guy of another podcast was like, CGI will never be scary, and hashtag scary stories to tell in the dark. And after watching it, like I'm a guy who can pick up on that kind of stuff, but also it's 2019, people. We're going to see some CGI. It's fine, but like this isn't Mama or like something like what I can't even think off the top of my head. Like even Goosebumps has like, I know it's a kids movie, but that movie is like borderline cartoon because of how CGI it was. There's a lot of practical effects and scary stories to tell in the dark, and some parts they physically had to spruce up with some CGI. I thought it all looked great. Like not one time was I like, ooh, that's some bad CGI.
Okay, so was this same person? We don't have to name it. It's totally fine. Was this same person?
Rob G from Shockwaves.
I don't know who the fuck that is, but sure. Like, is he complaining about like what's happening with like It? Did he watch It and go like, there's way too much CGI in It?
He loved It before everyone saw it, like the remake. Like he was just like, oh my god, it was so good, it's so good. And then because he saw like a pre-screen, or like he got to see it a couple days before, I'll never forget this. And then once the movie came out and it was getting rave reviews and it was taking over the world, he's like, yeah, I thought about it, and actually the original 1990 TV movie's better. He's like, he's a contrarian, and like I'm not gonna just sit and shit on him, but like he annoys me. Like it really annoys. Like I'm like, hey, he has to. One of these guys has to have been fingering his girlfriend. Like that's the only. Like I'm like, man, who do you know who worked on this movie that you don't like? Because like this is not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. Like I just don't understand.
You just have to be realistic with that stuff, especially with CGI. I mean, we've always championed like, oh, practical effects always look great, whatever. But yeah, the reality is that practical effects has been dying for a long time. It's harder to find people who can do it well, and a lot of times it comes down to time restraints and a lot of other things that just lead to like, hey, you know, some of this stuff just has to be CGI. I don't know why you would go and, you know, make such a big deal out of it.
Yeah, I don't, because like I said, this isn't the type of movie like where like, you know, Mama was really noticeable, because that's a really good movie, but it has some CGI that just really takes you out of it. And also I know David Hopkins has talked about this on Erie International recently, and I wholeheartedly agree with him, is that like, you thinking that a movie is scary does not determine if it's a good horror movie or not. Like If it's not scary to you, that doesn't mean it's a bad horror movie. And there's a lot of people who seem to think that it needs to be scary for it to be a successful horror movie. It's like, are you 10? Like what not everything is going to scare everybody or work for everyone. It's just it's if it's a well-made movie, and if it's a good compelling story with like good actors and good editing, good like everything was very competent in this movie. I don't really even know where I'm trying to get out of it. I really liked it. It's the type of movie that I know I'm going to watch just like every Halloween. It's got very good a lot of that Halloween spirit and vibes in it, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I really liked what you said going back to before about it. Whether it's scary or not doesn't make it strictly a good or bad horror movie. Where I always point to like, Black Christmas is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. That's a personal.
I agree with you.
Every time, it's the vibe, it's the mood of the whole thing, it's the implications of things. Where every time I watch it, it feels like you're watching something really.
It's extremely
dark.
real.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, Black Christmas probably isn't that scary because nothing really happens, quote unquote. Do you know what I mean? And it's old as shit. But like. Yeah. It doesn't mean it's not a good movie. It doesn't mean it's not a good horror movie, and doesn't mean that, you know, people can't like it for that reason.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing with It. Like, so many people are saying that it wasn't scary, and it's just like, yeah, but you're a 40-year-old man. Like, of course it's not scary to you. At least I'd hope not. Like, I just, and that's not a jab at anyone in particular. It's just like, I just think that that's such a ridiculous reason to say that something's not good. And especially in a, like, the genre is so volatile in that sense that I just don't understand how you could even even entertain the idea of that as a real discussion. Yeah.
Well, even you notice kind of lately with the second where am I going with it? 47 Meters Down, with the second one coming out and like seeing the trailers and everything, and everyone's just bashing the shit out of this, the first one, and all of a sudden
we're by ourselves, Buzi.
I know, and all of a sudden like The Shallows was amazing. I'm gonna go back and rewatch The Shallows because I'm sure it's better than I thought it was at the time.
No,
but like
it's the same.
When I watched the first time I watched 47 Meters Down, it scared the fuck out of me, and I think it's still a scary movie
because there wasn't Tiesto dance cutscenes in the middle of it. That's what, like with The Shallows, it's just like, okay, now it just feels like a Tiesto video for 10 minutes. But no, like I'm with you. Like me and you are the. But hey, you know what? 47 Meters Down got another. It's a sequel. There's another sequel coming out this weekend that we're both going to go see.
Can I just say a really weird thing that I saw?
Yeah.
Okay. It's one of the guys from Bloody Disgusting.
John Squires.
John Squires was had tweeted something about 47 Meters Down, the second one.
Yeah.
And then someone replied and was complaining about it. And I went and looked because they were talking about The Meg too. And the writer from The Meg was bitching about 47 Meters Down.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, well, at least The Meg's scary. And like, I just wanted to go in on this. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I know.
Because he was talking about how like, well, at least The Meg was successful. It's like, you know how big of a budget you had for that? And like 47 Meters Down smokes you every day of the week. I'm sorry.
On quality level, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, oh man, I love, you can always find good a troll community underneath his comments, under his tweets, because there's always people, and what I like about him is he doesn't shy away from it. He'll subtweet sometimes, but I'm not opposed to a little bit of subtweeting here and there.
There's a lot of times
throwing some shade.
He just says some shit, and all I want to respond is just shut the fuck up. he says so much, and everything's like this matter of factness to it that I don't like.
Well, that's just the thing, is like, and even we're doing it, but I like to think that people understand that it's tongue in cheek enough to know that like we don't actually think that our opinion is gospel.
Yeah, no.
But like there are a lot of people who are just like, no, I am right and you are wrong, and if you don't feel this way, you're an idiot and you're blocked from the site now because this is a positivity zone only, except for if I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Like that's, oh god, that shit is littered everywhere in the horror community right now. But this is some hot takes on this episode. Good thing we got nothing to lose. But yeah, last thing I'll say about Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is that, like, obviously this movie, I'm not the target demographic. I didn't grow up with these books. I don't have any sentimental connection.
Yeah, none of that nostalgia hits you on that.
That, and I'm an older gentleman who is going to these movies. Like, I'm assuming that, like, it's safe to say that as a seasoned horror veteran, that like if I want to go in for scares, this isn't where I would go. Like, this isn't.
It seems like it had some scary shit in the trailer.
Well, it's spooky. It's all about the tone and the atmosphere of the movie. That's what I liked about it so much. But I'll just say, like I know obviously you can tell Del Toro had a hand in bringing these creatures to life, and I think that the whole team killed it. I thought everything looked so good, especially the one that people seem to be shitty on the most is near the end. I thought it was fucking awesome. Like, and that's the one that has like a lot of CGI. I was like, that character is dope. I was on board, so I liked it. But
definitely recommend for everybody.
Definitely recommend. Yeah, I guess unless.
Ooh. This is it. This is how you can tell if Mitch liked the movie.
I will buy it day one.
You will buy it? All right.
I'll buy it day one. You know what I rented? This is the last thing I saw this week.
What'd you rent?
Happy Death Day to You.
What'd you think?
The second one. Have you seen it yet?
Nope.
Okay, so yeah.
I feel very lukewarm on it. Very, very lukewarm.
You feel, or I do?
I do.
But you haven't seen it.
I know. Just from like everything I've heard.
Yeah, but you didn't want to see the first one either.
That's true.
And you liked the first one, so shut your mouth. You got to just watch movies and be a judge on your own. But
be a gentleman.
Yes. So one thing I didn't like about the original was how shitty and unlikable the character tree was in the first half. But obviously that's like a point of the movie. So that movie won me over hard on the second half because I'm like, oh, okay, there's a reason why. Like she has an arc, and like the whole movie is basically about her redeeming herself. That's basically the point of the movie. But I feel like this entire movie was just making you love her even more. And for the most case, it worked. It's definitely not a horror movie. Like that's where I think there's a lot of criticism that I can understand. I can understand going into this and like, you know, expecting the first one. And you know what? I think that they give you enough of the first one to justify it being a sequel of the same name. It's comedy heavy, very light on the horror, heavy on the sci-fi. It worked for me, but I can understand why people would be like annoyed by it, especially since the first one was a lot heavier in the horror. But the one thing that I didn't like about it is that like this movie's so deep on the emotions. Like they're trying to tug at your heartstrings for so much of it. And at the start, it was working. And I remember Courtney and I were like, fuck, we're getting emotional. And this was about like a half an hour in. And it was like, hey, there's like 45 minutes of it. Like where it's just like, I'm like, hey, I don't care about these characters that much. Like, let's be honest here.
That's not what I would expect from that film, especially after seeing the first one, where it was supposed to be just a have a good time movie. And
that's what this one is for the most part. They're definitely trying harder to make you laugh. I don't like it nearly as much as the first one. But it was entertaining enough for me to watch it. Would I watch a sequel going from here? I'm not so sure. Like I of course I probably would, but like I wouldn't be running out to theaters for it. I didn't run out to the theater for this one, so it's just not generally my favorite type of thing. So it took me a while to get around to watching it. I'm glad I watched it. Nothing horrible to say, but also I can't really praise it that much either.
So we're not going to be talking about this at the end of the year.
I won't be, but I understand why people would like it, and I also understand why people would hate it.
Okay.
So yeah, that's everything I'm going to talk about this week. So, but before we move on to the next part into news. Yes, 47 Meters Down Uncaged comes out this weekend.
Are we actually getting it in the theaters?
Yes.
Oh, dude,
yeah.
I'm so going.
I'm going on Saturday because Friday we're going to the Broadway Theater to see The Art of Self-Defense, which is a dark comedy. Looking forward to it. All right, let's go on into some news. So, Buzi, can you please hit me with the motherfucking newsies?
All right, another week, another pile of news to stack on, and hopefully some of it's legit and not from Arrow in the Head.
Or hopefully Arrow in the Head is right. Facts straight this week.
First up, you can get your copy of Child's Play. It'll be coming out in digital download September 10th, and the Blu-ray DVD will be out September 24th. I'm definitely going to pick that up. I think it's well worth it. They have a ton of special features for it. Like they're showing all the claymations and how they did all that, and a lot of the practical effects. So if you're really into the practical effects thing, I know a lot of people aren't, but there are a bunch of extra features in this DVD or movie that make it way more than just the movie when you buy it.
That's what always excites me.
Like he feels nothing.
That's. I don't know if you have this in your news, but like, I'm pretty excited for them to finally release John Carpenter's Vampires on Blu-ray.
Oh, God.
And there's there's some. They have like a full commentary with Carpenter on there. There's apparently a new interview with James Woods, that crazy psychotic piece of shit.
He's gonna somehow turn that into a Trump speech.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, man, how did this go? Like they had to have kept it pretty on track, because I also know they wouldn't publish something. They wouldn't put something on their discs of him being a gigantic pile of filth.
I think they might, tiptoe around that.
Yeah.
There's going to be a deluxe edition you can get your own mask and jumpsuit, just like you're watching us from Trick or Treat Studios. Trick or Treat Studios is really big on that market of people who replicas of people who want to wear cool things. And
they're the ones. They got the Child's Play dolls. They got the Halloween mask, the new Halloween 2 jumpsuit. I'm sure you were going to mention that in here too. But they got so they have the Us jumpsuits and the scissors, and they also have the Halloween 2 jumpsuit.
I want to get it so
you
bad.
Need it, man.
But I literally just bought another mask from them. Like
but you have the Halloween 2 mask. So you need the jumpsuit, because then all you need is to either murder somebody and put it on them, and you can have it standing up in your house, or just get a mannequin.
I'm pretty good at walking slowly, so I think I got that covered.
Yeah.
This next piece of news is a little bit for all of my it's mostly for all my wrestling fans out there. WWE is now selling replicas of the Bray Wyatt Fiend mask, which you can get, which looks a lot like the Violator from Spawn. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. He debuted at SummerSlam, which was last Sunday, and it was probably one of the coolest entrances I've ever seen, and definitely the most horror-inspired. Like, he came out with a lantern, because Bray Wyatt previously came out with a lantern, but the lantern was in the shape of his old Bray Wyatt character with the eyes stitched out, and the mouth had the lantern in it. It's really cool. If you haven't seen it, go check it out.
So how does it compare to, like, remember in the 90s when The Undertaker would be coming out of a coffin? Or when he'd come out on his motorbike to Rollin' by Limp Bizkit? That was the best. I'll never
that was
forget
your
that.
American Badass Undertaker was your favorite?
Yes.
No, but like I know in the 90s people were actually terrified of Undertaker and Kane and all that stuff. And like The Fiend, which is Bray Wyatt's new character, is that new generation of terror.
Sweet.
So if you're interested in that, go check it out. I highly recommend, especially for all my wrestling fans. Next piece of news, Universal has pulled The Hunt from its release date after several massive shootings over the last couple weeks. I think there was like 3 in one day. America, get your shit together.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I never hear about mass shootings in Canada, and if there is, it's like once a year.
No,
it feels like you guys have one every other week.
Yeah, and it's all your guys' fault.
Yeah, 100%.
No, fuck.
You guys elected the wrong president.
No, this is happening far before that too, though. But like it's depressing. It's obviously we're Canadian, so like we're gonna sound ignorant no matter what we say, but it's horrible, and I can understand why people would be very sensitive about movies like this. Like, so our friend Brent from Let's Talk About Stuff was asking if we were going to talk about this. And I actually originally didn't even want to talk about it because I feel like it's a topic that's just like kind of going to go nowhere, or it's going to make someone sound like an asshole. And I'm never meaning to sound like an asshole, but I legitimately don't think, like, I think it's fucking ridiculous that they're pulling the movie because of this. Like, this shit has happened for decades. It's going to continue to happen. It's not going to be because of a fucking movie like this. Well,
but we've talked about this before. Movies that were bumped or canceled because of 9/11, bumped or canceled because of Columbine.
I understand so what I understand is being sensitive to the, all of the countless victims and their families who have had to suffer through this and like experience this. Like it's awful, but the thing is, like, this movie in particular is a satire. Like, it's pretty clearly a satire, and it's like, if we're gonna cancel this, then they're gonna cancel the Purge movies, which doesn't, like, obviously those movies don't do anything for me, but there's a huge fan base for those. And if you can't, it would be different if this was like a right-wing propaganda movie, and it doesn't look like that at all. And I actually read an article that pointed out, they're like, why didn't they cancel the fucking third whatever something Olympus Has Fallen movie, like, where all those movies is just Gerard Butler fighting off colored terrorists and like being the American hero,
the White House.
Yeah, and it's just fucking stupid. I'm like, that is like, to me, it seems like it'd be more damaging than people who are clearly making a radical statement in a satirical way. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think it's ridiculous, and I think, if this movie was treated like, if it looked serious and it was like trying to promote gun violence, then obviously I can understand why it would be harmful. It's the same thing with, I can't even remember what that fucking movie was, but there were a lot of people writing into like the local theaters and like, I'm pretty sure this happened everywhere, but there's like this anti or pro-life movie that was supposed to come out a couple weeks ago, and I don't know if it ever ended up coming out anywhere.
Okay.
But I'm just like, that is harmful. Something like that, pushing something like that is very harmful, because they're being serious and they're trying to tug on people's heartstrings, and they're trying to exploit people who are in that situation to think something that is harmful to humanity. People clearly laughing and being idiots with guns is something that is absolutely nothing new to cinema.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate because we both watched the trailer and I thought it looked great.
It looks fucking sweet.
And they have a great cast for that, which is unfortunate for everyone involved. But the thing that really annoys me about it is, let's go back a couple of years with American Sniper. American Sniper is, I know we could talk all day about it, but this is a so pro-America, thump your chest, we defeated everyone, we shoot kids and families, but we're justified in we're justified in what we did. And that movie won awards and shit, and you have to realize you have to realize that everyone in, like, the actual people that it's based on were pieces of shit.
That's so incredibly more harmful than anything of fiction could ever be. Like, that movie is fiction, but people they're saying that it's not, like, because it's based on the true story of this fucking psychopath who, like, would get his rocks off by shooting people.
The dude's basically like a quote unquote justified spree killer.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
And you go on from that is, you have to look at after, I bet you could pull up statistics on it, is, did the enrollment in the military increase after this, where people are going like, I want to go over there and shoot people too.
Yeah. It's propaganda. Like, American Sniper is propaganda.
100%.
This fucking The Hunt, that is a satirical, it's not real.
It's basically just
a piece of fiction.
Yeah, it's the same as it's basically the deadliest game.
It's like the Hunger Games, but with guns.
Yeah,
and like being adults. Like, it's, I don't know. It drives me nuts, man.
It's weird that you can't find any median with everything. It's either
it's awful. I can understand pulling the trailer off so people don't need to see gun violence and stuff like that. That's understandable, but like, to completely remove it from theaters and to like say that you don't even know if it's ever going to be released or when it's going to be released and where,
that's the worst part.
Such a shitty thing for all the people who work their asses off on that movie, and all of the people who aren't psychopaths who would go to that movie to have to be entertained and to have fun.
Yeah, it's weird that this is where people, put their flag of like, we're not gonna have this movie come out.
Exactly, and it's because apparently, like, a lot of it had to do with like the people think that it's like promoting violence against Trump supporters and like the right wing people, because like that, and like, there is a little bit of that in it, but the thing is, that's just being a human being and not being a psychopath Trump supporter.
Well, that's the thing is, I'm sure I've talked to or have interacted with plenty of people who supported or voted for Trump. That's your opinion. That's what you can do.
But you're a dumb fuck if you did.
But it's how you choose after to deal with that. If you become all of a sudden someone who's very against people who aren't straight.
Yeah,
who aren't
allow me to be the white savior of the podcast. White savior coming in. Everyone, just be nice to each other.
Come on. That's the end of the day. Is do what you want, but be nice.
Look, everything's solved now because a straight white guy said so.
We did it.
We're good.
We solved everything.
Yes.
Let us speak to the CEO of racism.
Yes.
All right, carrying on. You can also, coming from Trick or Treat Studios, you can get your officially licensed Child's Play 2 Good Guy doll, and it's less than $100. You've talked many times before.
No, Trick or Treat has the legit one. That's like, are they the ones who did the like kind of shittier knockoff one? I saw it because like there's one that looks really shitty, but then they have the actual mold from the screen used mold for Child's Play 2.
Yeah, but that's a
$500 one.
No, this is a different one. Trick or Treat Studios always says that they use the molds.
No, they do though. Like the Trick or Treat, they have the official Child's Play 2 ones, but they might. I know what you're talking about because I've seen these before. I'm gonna just you keep talking. Okay. I'll find it right now.
Okay. But yeah, support Trick or Treat Studios. I love those guys so much. Next up, we might be expecting some more She-Venom from Venom 2 with Michelle Williams because she said she was returning. Why are we getting another Venom? Because
that movie made a buttload of money.
But can they right the ship? Is it possible for them to completely flip it and the second one all of a sudden be what we wanted?
Well, they have, what's his nuts on to direct, God, I'm doing so bad. I had the most exhausting day. And I'm drawing a blank on just normal words. Andy Serkis is directing it.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, we all know who Andy Serkis is.
Yeah, but that seems like, I don't know, at the same time, I guess he did that Jungle Book movie that's a giant turd, so I don't know. But he's a man who understands like motion capture and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he certainly couldn't make a worse Venom movie than what we already saw. Like,
I think that would be the biggest comeback, though. If they came out and just knocked it out of the park with Venom 2 and it made you just completely forget the stink that was Venom 1.
Yeah, it's like what they did with Ghost Rider 2 Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah, that's exactly like that. Coming from Vinegar Syndrome in the coming months, I believe it's coming out around end of October, we're going to get a gore cut of Tammy and the T-Rex, which we've talked about several times. Yes. I really want to see this because that movie is awesome.
Paul Walker and a T-Rex.
That's the best way to commemorate
and
Paul
Denise
Walker.
Richards.
We've been talking a lot lately. I think it's time for a rock break.
That was so refreshing. All right, more news. James Wan's production company, Atomic Monster, has acquired the rights to Nick Cutter's infection horror novel, The Troop.
Oh, shit.
So The Troop is being made into a horror movie.
That's the book I read.
Yes, and it's going to be directed by E.L. or L. Katz, like the director of Cheap Thrills.
Oh,
so yeah,
shit! I'm all of a sudden really excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. We both like that book quite a bit. Very gross. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I got that. I also have Brent from Let's Talk About Stuff, was also wanting us to share some thoughts on this. I know you have nothing to say about it, so I'm just going to get my thoughts out of the way. Marvel's Adventures into Fear. So it's a new series that Marvel Studios is going to be doing on Hulu. They're starting off with a series on Ghost Rider, I believe, and then they're doing what? Why are you laughing?
We've had 2 Ghost Riders.
Yeah, but that's what they're going to try and write
this episode.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's too many.
The Ghost Rider character is badass. It has been yet to have been done justice. Even though I do love that first Ghost Rider movie. That first Ghost Rider movie is next level. Like, that is one of the best pieces of shit. Okay, so yeah, Ghost Rider. But so as a huge fan of Marvel, I couldn't get through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think I watched like 4 episodes. It didn't do anything for me. I actually thought it was like borderline unwatchable, but from what I've heard, it gets better. People seem to really like it. Some people really like it. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because Gabriel Luna plays Ghost Rider in that show. Obviously, I had never made it far enough to see him play that role. But he's going to be reprising his role for this Marvel's Adventures into Fear. So it's basically like this was like a comic series that was released in like the 70s and 80s, and it was just like horror spins on these Marvel characters, but they were also tend to be like the darker characters. So they have Ghost Rider, and they're also doing Hellstrom, which is otherwise known as Hailstorm, who is the son of Satan. So it's all like kind of corny stuff, but I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't have Hulu. We don't have Hulu in Canada. There's a very small chance I'm going to be watching this. Mm-hmm. And I don't really care. Like, if they're bringing a guy on from, and he's that new Terminator in the new Terminator movie, Gabriel Luna. Yeah. But if this is at all a crossover to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like I would have so much to catch up on, and I just could not do that. So
is this the new direction that everything's going in?
They're trying to do the whole horror or darker edged.
But it seems like they're starting to use the word horror a lot with all of these, and it just feels like it's popped up over the last year, where it's like, oh, we're gonna make a horror superhero now.
Yeah, well, that's what they do with yeah. Well, I know like Jeff Loeb, who's one of the, like, he has said in an article that I read that it's more so going to be based in terror than in horror, and that's like he wants people to be, be scared of these characters. Like,
we're just fucking splitting hairs at this point.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. To be honest with you, it's not exciting me right now. So, but I will keep an eye on it, and I'd like to see some Ghost Rider done right. That'd be cool. That'd be very hard to do, though. Also, both characters don't understand how if this is going to be like a PG-13 thing, don't understand how they're going to pull that off, since Hellstrom is literally the son of Satan. So I don't understand how that's going to work.
Well, maybe like every time they ask who his dad's from or where his dad's from, they'll be like the South,
the deep South. Oh my god.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
I just watched that not too long ago. He's from the deep South. God, that movie's awful, and I love it. Okay, I'm trying to pull up this. I have one last thing to read.
I really like that you guys add to the news, because it is so difficult to weed through, like, what do I talk about, what don't I? So I'm glad that everyone else is bringing stuff to the table.
Absolutely, and you're welcome for this, because I didn't read the whole article. I saw the headline, I was like, boom.
You pulled a me.
Yeah, I'm going to copy and paste this, and then I'll read it on air, but I'll stop if it gets boring. So this isn't horror news, like horror movie news, but FoxChicago.com posted thousands of tarantulas expected to crawl through Colorado in mass migration.
Was there flooding?
Colorado Springs, looking for the ultimate family getaway. Well, now's your chance to witness the Great Tarantula Migration, expected to kick off this month in Colorado. According to the Gazette, thousands of tarantulas with high libido can be seen crawling through the Colorado grasslands in search of a mate, beginning their exodus from August through early October. Scientists say that many of the spiders are 10-year-old males looking to mate with females that make their burrows in Colorado's grasslands. According to a tourist site, this sounds like a pitch for a movie where it's like Tinder for tarantulas. Tinderantula?
Oh, we'll have to work on that one.
Yeah, work on that one. Okay. According to a tourist site for La Junta, Colorado, stupid Canadian, September on a warm day is the best time to view the massive tarantula migration, specifically around September 10th. The website says you can expect to see the majority of these Oklahoma brown tarantulas migrate through La Junta, which is about 176 miles southeast of Denver. The Gazette says that the La Junta, I hope I'm saying that wrong, because if I'm saying it right, yikes. And southeast Colorado will showcase the largest numbers of the arachnids taking over the highways, meaning visitors should be wary of the roads. A massive gathering of tarantulas will also give you a chance to see the stunning spider hunting wasps that they prey on, the eight-legged travelers known as tarantula hawks.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Fuck tarantulas. Fuck them in their dirty
after
fucking fuzzy legs.
You read that, it just makes me think about, because it's like
they're one love.
No, but it's like, watch out for them, because they're gonna all be crossing on the highway. Think about this tarantula spent
they just trying to fuck.
Yeah, 10 years. This thing's been around 10 years, and it just wants to bone,
and
you're gonna fucking run it over with your shitty Prius. Like, oh. But that's also terrifying.
Yeah.
So the thing I asked about flooding is because that happens a lot of time when there's like big floods, is just migration of tarantulas, rats, that sort of shit.
I just think this one's super interesting because it's like that, but super horny. So
it's like serious but horny. I hope someone makes a documentary out of that.
Yeah, horny tarantulas.
Yeah, just random clips of tarantulas. I don't even know how tarantulas have sex.
You want to look it up before?
Well, you might look it up later.
No, let's look it up before we watch the do the main features, because now I'm curious. Because it can't be like turtles where they just take forever and they just kind of go like everyone's yeah like weirdo face dude, but okay.
All right, so we're gonna come back for a main feature, and we're gonna find out how tarantulas have sex, and we're gonna explain it for everyone.
So we'll see you on the other side, everyone, when we'll be talking about Arachnophobia from 1990 and Ticks from 1993.
The Jennings family has just moved to the small town of Canaima.
Oh, Ross, smell that air. Oh, God.
In search of a simpler life.
Want to blow up a bullfrog? Okay.
It's the perfect place.
Goodbye crime, goodbye grime.
Except for one pesky little problem.
Come with me and look at the web.
The web? I have a
Terrible fear of spiders. Come on, we live in the country now. It's time to work through this irrational, paralyzing terror.
It's not irrational.
Hollywood Pictures and Amblin Entertainment present Jeff Daniels.
Honey, we're in the living room. We need you to kill a spider.
And John Goodman.
Bill McClintock, Infestation Management.
That guy's just a spider.
Would anybody object if I tore this floor out?
I would.
False alarm, then lead on. There's no spider here.
Every so often in a little town somewhere, there is a health scare.
There's a rumor going around that some kind of spider might have killed Sam Metcalf.
This place looks worse than the projects.
It started out small.
It's got measles bumps. It's a tick.
Vampires of the insect world.
A part of Mother Nature's wonder.
What's so inspiring about bugs and insects and snakes?
But then they grew.
Don't move. There's something on your back.
Get off now!
And grew.
Just don't touch it if you don't know what it is. Don't touch it, it attacked me.
Unimaginable.
Ticks do not get this big.
Unthinkable. Unbelievable.
There's a huge fire and a whole bunch of those tick things headed this way.
Where civilization ends. The nightmare begins.
All right, and welcome to our main feature presentation, in which we're going to be discussing not one but two creepy crawly movies that have things that crawl and creep. Fucking know.
for summer. This is
this is our summer theme.
Our end of summer. Enjoy summer while it's still here, because it's starting to get cold already.
Yeah, especially if you're in the Colorado area where you get to see a bunch of tarantulas frig. So before we did this, Buzi and I actually did go out and we watched YouTube videos of
we did our homework.
Tarantulas fucking
Yeah, we saw their courtship process as well as the.
It seems a lot like humans. The man goes up, he crawls, he finds a woman in her hut, and then he slaps on the ground. He slaps on the ground to be like, "Hey, yo, you DTF or what?" And then the woman decides she either has two options, and that's she's gonna allow this fine sir to insert his bag in her, or he passes off
what I got out of it, is he carries like a load in his mouth, and then just goes like blah, like some of those things you will see on Pornhub.
It kind of looks like something though, like where when you sneak up to someone and you sneak something in their pocket, like you give them a hug, but you or it's kind of like reverse pickpocket.
Yeah, like I've seen people buying cocaine at concerts before, and it's
it's
just like somebody walks up and all of a sudden just something's in your pocket.
Yeah, it's and then all of a sudden you got cocaine, but in this case you got 10,000 babies, or they say 1,000 babies. How many?
Just a big old load of babies.
Big old load, yeah. They powerful juice those ones have. But
and then after, it's very important that the male runs away really fucking fast, or else the female's gonna eat him.
That's the thing, is that what I was getting is like the female will either do one of two things, and it's allow the gentleman to insert the pocket, the juice box, or she just fucking straight out kills him.
Yeah, and luckily for us, as well as the tarantulas we were watching, it was all successful the whole way through.
Yeah.
What's really interesting though is that he like has to hold up her fangs, like he's like checking his oil.
Yeah.
Like, but you don't have the thing to.
Can you pop your hood, man?
Yeah, he like pops the hood, but he doesn't have the rod to hold it up, so he does it with like a couple of his arms, and then he's like, "I'm just gonna deliver this right
he's
here."
He's a sneaky bastard.
He's like a mailman.
8 legs. Think about it. It's like the mailman or someone like a mechanic, but if they had 8 legs.
Yeah.
So they could do all this sneaky shit while they're working on your gears. I think that's working on your engine. I don't know.
So now everyone knows.
Yeah.
You don't have to go watch it on YouTube like we did.
But yeah, you can, and that's the other thing is we'll find out is that tarantulas really enjoy blondes.
Yeah, because they're all blonde.
Yeah, apparently all the women tarantulas are blonde.
Yeah, the host who was doing the Neil deGrasse Tyson that we were listening to was basically like, and they love blondes. And he's like, because they're all blonde. It's like, oh, okay.
Which is kind of weird because as a person who like I don't like spiders, but I kind of associate them with like alt people and like alt girls. Like, alt girls would be pissed if they could only have blonde hair.
There's going to be alt outrage if anyone alt listens to this.
Oh, God, that's all we have. But yeah, so I don't know. It's safe to say that they're all more S Club 7 fans and not so much My Chemical Romance fans.
100%.
I think I'm reaching here now. Okay, let's move on for the arachnophobia. So we're going to talk about arachnophobia, and then we're going to talk about ticks.
Yeah.
And I'm going to preface this by saying that I have never seen ticks. And the last time I haven't seen arachnophobia in 20 years. It was like a brand new movie for me.
I will say pretty much the same. I had never actually seen ticks, but I had seen videos of the practical effects because I was always told about how cool the practical effects are.
Yeah.
So I'd seen the end scene before, but this is my first time watching it front to back. And then arachnophobia, yeah, I'd watched it when I was younger, and I really didn't like spiders. I don't know why I watched it.
Yeah.
But
So have you not seen it in a really long time either?
Yeah, it was like a whole new movie.
I got the vibe that this is like a regular rotation.
No. I'm always just excited to watch it because I have memories of being like, ugh, spiders.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hell yeah. Okay, well, yeah, so let's start off like you did the last time we did this alphabetical order.
Yes,
we'll start
I
with
prefer.
Arachnophobia. So Arachnophobia came out in 1990, and it stars a pre-Dumb and Dumber Jeff Daniels.
Yep.
Julian Sands and John Goodman, and I believe this was even when the fuck did Roseanne start? Because like that's what he was obviously he's huge in like the Coen Brothers movies and everything like that, but like Roseanne was a big thing in the 90s.
For the longest time he was just like the guy from Roseanne.
Yeah. And that's why I'm wondering if this was before. Like, I think Roseanne started before this, but I'm not going to. He has 160 credits, so I'm not going to try and find that right now while we are on air.
Okay.
But even this was a year before Barton Fink, which is another huge movie of his. Mm-hmm. So so we got that, and the movie was directed by Frank Marshall, who also directed. Did you look this up?
No, I did not.
Because you got a smile on your face.
I feel like I always wait for you to do it because you're so much better with information than I am. I'll just go like that guy.
Let's just say this is serendipity. This is beyond serendipity at this point. This is saying that this has to happen ASAP. ladies and gentlemen, the director of Congo.
Oh, shit!
Yeah. And 8 Below with Paul Walker. Which Jason Hamill's band has a song about 8 Below, the Paul Walker Snow Dogs movie. But either way, yeah, like that's at this point, it's like, okay, we got to do an episode on
mentioned
Congo.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it's got to be 2 or 3 weeks at this point. But yeah. Okay, so, and then we also have, sorry, I'm just pulling up my notes here. But yeah, this movie was produced by Steven Spielberg, and you could definitely feel, I don't know, like, so like I said, this is completely different. It was a new experience for me. I remember like 2 scenes in this movie because it scared the fuck out of me when I was a kid because I also hated tarantulas and spiders.
Yeah, I definitely remembered the rainforest scene at the start. And
I remember that, and I remember like the overall of the scene of the climax and the bigger spider.
Yeah.
And like that, I remember that, and I also like remember John Goodman's character being
weird,
like,
comic relief.
I remember him being weird when I was a kid, so I completely did not read his character right. So, but yeah, so let's talk about this movie. Came out in 1990. Let's open up the conversation for some Spidey talk.
Okay. You know, we kind of said that we weren't going to do a spoiler thing, so I'm going to try and talk about it as much as possible without spoiling anything. So you kind of go to the start of the film. I actually really enjoy the start of this film. It sets up for a very spooky movie, which you could kind of feel that like Congo essence to this movie.
Yeah.
It was deep in the jungle, and
it's like an explorer's movie and science adventure.
Yeah, it's super cool because it starts on, you kind of get like a red herring at the start.
Like a Jurassic Park vibe, even like on a much smaller scale.
Even though Jurassic Park wasn't out yet.
Yeah, it was out,
You have this videographer who's hanging out with these people deep in the jungle or whatever, and they go in there. They're using smoke machines, which I've seen used before for this sort of thing. It like fucks up all the insects because it fucks up the air around them. Because they take in air through their body. They don't have lungs, so they actually take it through their skin.
Do you fuck with spiders? Like, do you like tarantulas?
No, I don't. I just have a morbid interest. I like if someone was like touch a tarantula, I couldn't do it. Like I used to have a pet snake, so like any sort of reptiles, totally cool with reptiles. When it comes to insects, don't like them. I've had friends that have tarantulas, and I don't understand why.
You're kind of like, are you Buzz from Home Alone? I kind of picture you as a Buzz from Home Alone. But like, no, because I'm just going to say right out the gate too, is that I realize I've always thought that I've always hated snakes and spiders. Like those are like the things that I just despise. I hate snakes so much more than spiders. I can't even put into words. Like I can't, like I don't necessarily hate them. I just don't ever want to be around them. I don't.
Oh, they're so sweet.
And
they're
I
like
love
gentle giants.
Well, I love watching snake movies. Like I love Anaconda is one of my
Yeah.
At this point, it's one of my favorite movies. Like I fucking love that movie so much, and I like how snakes look. I just never want to be around them. Like if you were to put 10 snakes in front of me and 10 tarantulas, I would cuddle with the tarantulas, and I don't like them either. Like I would rather do that than go near snakes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I used to go to the lake all the time because there would be the snakes hanging, like the garter snakes, and I'd just pick them up, hang out with them. Sometimes if I grabbed too many at one time, they'd start wrapping around each other, and I was like, whoa.
Fuck that shit.
Oh, dude, I literally, when I had my pet snake, I would just, like, it would be on my arm or I would wrap it around my neck
yeah,
and
you
shit. It would
seem
just
like
hang
one
out.
of those weirdos.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Feeding snakes is super cool, too.
Yeah,
I could go on a tangent.
Whenever I think of that, I think about Road Trip with Tom Green.
Yep.
Tom Green feeding his snake Mitch. his snake's name is Mitch, and he's like, "Come on, Mitch, it's your meal, Mitch. Come on, big guy. Come on, Mitch."
But the thing is that this is totally on a different tangent. You got me on this. Is
fuck snakes.
Having a pet snake. The snake I had wasn't at a proper size, and it's also very dangerous to feed snakes live rodents. So you'd have to buy packs of fetal.
Why?
Mice.
Because they crawl out. Because they don't fully kill them right away.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it can
this
basically
is a National Geographic
it can
episode.
fuck up their guts. So basically, you have to buy all these frozen feral things and keep them in your freezer and take one out and thaw it out. So I'd do all that shit, and then you basically have to.
So would they still be dead, or would it be like Austin Powers?
No, they'd still be dead.
Okay.
But snakes don't like eating dead things. They're not scavengers.
Yeah.
So basically, I'd have to hold the tail of this mouse,
pretend like it's alive.
Come on, buddy, and I'd dance it around it, and it would be like, oh shit, that mouse is hovering 5 feet above me, and so
would you ever do what Tom Green did in a road trip, where he puts the mouse in his mouth?
No, God, no. The worst part about those things is they're so frail when you're trying to feed them. Sometimes the tail falls out, so then you just have to push it around with your finger, because snakes can't differentiate, so it'll literally try and bite your finger. I can tell. I can tell that you're being more and more uncomfortable, and this is so normal for me.
Dude, I legitimately hate them. Like I cannot handle snakes. I saw a gardener snake a couple of years ago, and I fucking ran. No word of a lie.
I love snakes.
I can't stand them.
Anywho, we're talking about arachnophobia.
Yeah. So bottom line though, like back to my question, so you wouldn't say you fuck with tarantulas?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't like creepy crawlies.
But so many of the movies that you like are like insect movies or creepy movies in that sense.
But because that shit terrifies me.
Because you love Mimic.
Yep.
Yeah, and you love what was that? There's another fucking bug movie that you're really into.
The Fly?
No, The Fly is fantastic. That's the
cream of the crop.
Yeah, it is.
No, but I think bugs are disgusting. They're terrifying. Like,
is that why you know things about them?
Yes, you have to know your enemy. Like Rage Against the Machine always said, know your enemy. Anyway, if we're talking about arachnophobia, so it starts out really cool intro, and you have that these guys go out in the rainforest, and they're like, there's undiscovered species of insects out here. So they take these like rain bucket things, and they hose this area with smoke, and all of a sudden the rainforest just goes quiet. This is a really cool scene, honestly, for a movie like Arachnophobia. And then all of a sudden, all these like insects start dropping into these buckets, and they're looking at them, and they're like, "Oh, look, there's a butterfly, whatever." And then all of a sudden, you hear like a loud thud, and someone comes over like, "It's a tarantula," and all of a sudden, you hear like way more thuds, and they're like, "This many tarantulas, because they're like scavengers, shouldn't be in such a close area to each other." And basically what you get out of it is that there's like a hive mind of these giant tarantulas, and then you get like a quick scene of like a really giant tarantula that's watching them. Yeah, and like puts like it feels like, obviously none of that actually happens in the film where you see any of this, but like it feels like he puts like a voodoo curse on them.
Exactly, and I think that's a reoccurring theme in this movie, and it's one of the things that I love about it. Like, did you watch this by yourself, or did you watch? Yeah, because like Courtney and I could not stop. Like every time there was a spider on screen, especially, and let that be known that Courtney hates spiders more than anything in the world. She loves snakes. But she, like, it was a struggle to get her to want to do this. But I was like, I'm not going to push that. Or if you don't want to watch, I'll watch it by myself. But she's like, you know what? Let's do it. And she fucking loved it. But, like,
really?
Yeah, she really liked it. But I think a part of it is because every time there's a spider on screen, or, like, especially if one was sneaking around, when, like, Jeff Daniels doesn't know that he's there or something.
They're kind of cute.
Well, I just always picture them going,
yeah, they're not like evil. Yeah. They're very like they're kind of like
fucks.
Sneaky and nefarious, but in a fun way.
I picture like the Inspector Gadget music playing behind it.
So basically, Spider takes revenge on this dude. They gets put into a box to get shipped back to the States, and a tarantula conveniently crawls into this box and goes to the States. That's how you have the movie start. And then you have your Jeff Daniels family. They show the whole dynamic of like, I'm a loving husband, I'm a loving wife, we're a couple of kids. So this tarantula manages to get all the way there because a crow picks him up.
I love that. It is so magical. I even have that written in. It's like the way that it
feels like Homeward Bound for this
I know
tarantula.
How the tarantula ends up at Jeff Daniels' house is just perfectly charming. Yeah, there's no other way. It's just, it feels like an Amblin movie, and it is. Yeah, and like it feels just like super family friendly and like fun and like kind of like, oh, what are you doing there? Like, that's not where you parked your car. Like,
no, you're 100% right. This movie, I thought was, because I don't remember a lot of it. I thought this movie was going to be like serious or whatever. It's kind of kooky.
It's super kooky. And I remember though, like thinking in the opening scene in the rainforest, I'm like, okay, now how the fuck are we going to get these spiders to Jeff Daniels' house? Because I was like, I'm looking forward to this. And then that's how they arrive back in the casket. And then like what was it you saying? It was like a bird.
A crow picks it up.
Crow, yeah. And it's just like, okay.
Well, and it's just it's convenient is the spider finally goes like, I don't want to be in this ride anymore, bites the crow, it falls down, and then it just crawls over to Jeff Daniels' house.
Let me off, sir. Let me off. I said let me off.
It's like if you got a ride from an Uber driver and then you killed him.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know, or say when. Just fucking stab him in the neck.
Yeah.
And that's, I love how the spider gets there, but I also think it could have been cool if we would have had a Homeward Bound type scenario where you see him
his great adventure and there's happy music playing.
Like, what are those things called? Like the littlest hobo has the stick with a sack.
God damn it! I know what this is called and I can't think. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm picturing them like being a spider who just like wants to go to Hollywood to be an actress. But ends up at Jeff Daniels' house.
Which actually happens in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just implicate Jeff Daniels on a bunch of nefarious shit.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you hit the nail on the head. I just think it's kooky, but it's really clever and really witty, and I guess I can get it out of the way. I fucking loved it.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
It was super refreshing. And you could tell they were using a real spider, like 98%.
I know. Much of it looked really good. Yeah, almost all of it.
Yeah, they literally probably just put a tarantula somewhere and was like, okay, when it crawls across here, that's our scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the tarantula like runs over in the house and it makes big spider webs and eventually it bites a couple people, and that's where you have a little bit, quote unquote, of the more horror elements. They don't even show that. It's just people going like, ow, I feel something, and then all of a sudden they're dead.
But that's the thing too, is about, okay, so back to, sorry, this is the last time I'm going to do the snakes versus spiders thing. But like, here's the thing with spiders, like the scariest part about it, and they even mention it, like Jeff Daniels talks about how he developed his arachnophobia, and like he didn't even know he had a word for it or whatever, and he was a kid, and like he had this like feeling that like one bit him and he was just completely paralyzed. Or did that actually happen? Like I was kind of okay, so he one spider bit him and then he was completely paralyzed for a couple of minutes, and it just terrified the shit out of him. And that's something that actually happens in the movie and happens with spiders, and yes, that is terrifying. But snakes do that, and then they swallow you while you're alive.
Or they just
still
constrict you.
Yeah, or that's even worse. Like, or I don't even know what's worse. Like, just imagine, like, you're fucked. You can't move, and you're just getting swallowed. Like, at least with a spider, they just fuck off and go and try and tap on the ground by some young thotties.
Okay, so I also loved this movie. Definitely not as scary as my young
scary.
brain remembered it being. It's a lot of fun. There is some kind of more horror stuff at the end, and then probably the weirdest quote unquote boss fight. I don't know if we're giving too much away. Like,
okay, once again, I'm gonna fight you on this. You can fight me back on it as much as you want. I'm not gonna tiptoe around a movie like Arachnophobia, and I understand like we're not gonna spoil anything huge for people.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this movie came out in 1990. If you didn't watch it with us and you're still thinking about it afterwards, this should all just be more reason to watch it.
Yeah.
And it's not like in Interstellar he ends up in a black hole bookshelf. Like something like it's not like a huge spoiler or but like what I just
spoil Interstellar?
Yeah, fuck that movie.
I haven't seen it.
I just want to shed some light on why this movie's great and why you should give it another look if it's been a while since you've seen it or if you haven't seen it. And I just want to say the star of the movie is John Goodman's character.
Yep.
Delbert McClintock. Like, I can't even say his last name properly, but
he reminds me so much, now that we're more aware of these sort of things, it feels like he's really heavy on the spectrum, and that's just his thing.
I love how he meets Jeff Daniels, and he's a doctor.
Yeah.
And he introduces himself. He's like, it's always nice to meet another colleague.
Yeah.
Like, he's an exterminator, and he considers himself on the same level as a doctor.
But he has so many kooky moments, and his character takes himself so seriously.
And I got that mixed up. Sorry, there's a person who's knows shit about spiders and everything, and he says, always nice to meet another colleague.
But he pulls out his spraying gun at one point because he sees a tarantula.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. So basically what ends up happening towards the end is, our guy from the start, who was kind of the reason the tarantula got there, came back, and he's like an expert, and he randomly just gets murked by a spider because he fucks around with his web a little bit.
Yeah,
it's so anticlimactic.
I know. There's a lot of it is a little anticlimactic, but at the same time, like the whole the finale, I just felt was so well executed, and like they truly, I think that they wrap the spider subgenre in this movie. Like it's like I don't see how you can make a spider movie better than this.
Have you seen Eight-Legged Freaks?
That's the thing is, I like Eight-Legged Freaks well enough. Like I haven't seen it in 15 years, but I remember really liking it. But like Eight-Legged Freaks tries really hard to be over the top and crazy.
Yep.
Whereas this does it seamlessly. It does it without it's not flaunting that it's crazy. It's just doing it really well.
And I don't think it's really a horror movie other than subject matter alone. It's a horror movie if you're scared of spiders.
Yeah,
that's
it's pretty much a family fun movie but it also has some like really adult humor in it.
Mm-hmm. And I the whole time I was waiting for like a mega spider to show up, which we never got.
Yeah, we still get a bigger one.
A bigger one. Yeah. I was expecting like a one that would eat a man.
Yeah, I always think about, do you remember what was that movie? It was a straight-to-DVD movie that I like Python and like movies like that back in that era.
Yeah.
But it was called like Arachnid or something.
Yeah, okay.
Do you remember that? Like I remember watching that, and that's like where they go into, it's like a giant spider.
Yeah, they go into his lair or
yeah,
whatever.
I loved shit like that when
I was expecting something like, what's the name of the spider from Lord of the Rings? You know?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was expecting the whole time.
Yeah.
And you don't really get it.
Well, no, because it's realistic.
But you do get a slightly larger spider that like has it out for this dude.
I think it's more effective that way, because it would make no fucking sense that this gigantic spider. I know that we shouldn't care about sense in a movie like this, but I don't know.
It's good for the sake of conversation.
Yeah, I agree. But I was fine with it being like it's like a head-sized spider.
Yeah.
It's big enough.
Would you recommend this to people if they're
100%.
wanting to see a spider movie?
100% if you want to see a spider movie. The thing is, if you're wanting to see a spider movie, you already know to go to this one.
Yeah, it's a feel-good hit of the summer.
Yeah, but we're just here to reiterate that it's a good choice.
Would you see it with kids?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think this would be a good movie.
It's a
with
very
kids.
kid-friendly movie.
Yeah, because I remember I watched it as a kid, and like it more so just like. That's the thing is, it's kind of, spider movies are kind of cheap in some ways because a lot of people are just inherently scared of spiders.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be creepy no matter what happens. It could be a terrible movie, but I think this movie is really clever and really witty, and that's the charm is what you go there for, and not for the scares.
I'm just gonna harass you for a second because you always do this to me. We're talking about a spider movie. How can it be witty and smart?
When do I do that?
We did that literally last week with Bait, where I was like, Bait's a pretty smart shark.
Well,
you're like,
said it's
shark
smart.
movies can't be smart.
No, I never said I said I wouldn't use that to describe Bait, because I don't think Bait is a smart movie. But I think that this one is witty and charming. It's I wouldn't. Did I say it was smart? Because I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're tiptoeing. That's what like. It was witty and fun.
Everybody.
Yeah. Okay,
it was good. It was good. I like Arachnophobia very much. And then we have Ticks. So Ticks came out in 1993. It was directed by Tony Randall. Do you know who Tony Randall is?
Nope. You're gonna fill me in.
Yes, I am. He was the director of Hellraiser 2: Hellbound.
Okay.
Amityville: It's About Time.
Okay.
And Children of the Night. So Hellraiser 2 is debatably like I love Hellraiser 2. It's great, and a lot of people really like Hellraiser 2, but some people like it more than one, and I don't know where I land with that. But Amityville: It's About Time is the one that Justin Bruce.
Is that about the clock?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but apparently it's pretty good. Apparently it's pretty decent, and I remember even Justin said that he's like, so it's honestly one of the better ones just because it's entertaining. But this guy also wrote the story for Hellraiser 3, which makes total sense. Because that is the one where it is just fucking insane and stupid and ridiculous and fun. I like Hellraiser 3 as well. But it was written by Brent Friedman, who also wrote 2 of the Pre-Hysteria movies. Do you remember Pre-Hysteria?
They have a copy in town, and it's like $40, and I keep going like, I have to buy it. I just don't.
Where did you see this?
Sunrise has it in Midtown.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, because Pre-Hysteria was huge for me.
I fucking loved Pre-Hysteria.
I loved Pre-Hysteria. There's a couple of them too. Like, it's just like Okay, so I can't remember the I just remember there's kids with the little dinosaurs, but like...
Yeah, I don't remember any other story. I just remember I wanted little dinosaurs. I was like, where's my little dinosaurs?
I know, exactly. Like, it's a kid's wet dream, Prehysteria. But yeah, so he wrote Prehysteria and Pet Shop. Do you remember Pet Shop? Because Pet Shop was just like Prehysteria, but in a pet shop.
Nope.
But it was all these weird
You've
creatures.
seen so many strange things that I've never heard of, and you're like, oh yeah, I've watched that.
Man, I can't remember what I ate for lunch today. Pet Shop was the first movie I ever rented from a Blockbuster. Like, how the fuck?
You just consume. You've seen and talked about movies I've never heard of.
It's all I've lived for.
I know.
There's nothing.
It's not just like you're not just like the obscure horror movie guy.
No, it's just random shit.
Yeah, it's just weird shit.
Yeah. Like, everyone look up Pet Shop, and if you can't find it, look up Prehysteria, and then find the writer and look up Pet Shop, because that is a strange movie. But like, I loved it when I was a kid. And this guy also wrote Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh no,
the second one. Oh. So like the even worse one. Oh. So you can do with that what you will. So I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one and explain the movie, because like, if I start talking about the cast, I'm gonna blow my load here, because I had no idea what
you were in for.
I had no idea, and I had no idea which characters I'd see in this movie and how they would be, and it blew my mind in that aspect.
I'm still not 100% on the story. I will say the caveat that I was a little stoned when I watched this.
Really? Were you completely sober with Arachnophobia?
No.
Yeah.
I watched them back to back.
When's the last time you've been sober for a movie?
It enhances the film for me, yes. But I feel like I lost the story of Ticks. All I know is a bunch of kids get dropped off in the projects, and then all get in a bus.
It's because that's where they get picked up for the summer camp.
But
it's for like kids who are kind of troubled.
Yeah, but there's only 2 adults, and the adults are really preoccupied with like banging.
Yeah,
and don't want to take care of it. It seems
really weird that they wanted that role.
Yeah, like the whole time the main counselor, who's like the male guy, it seemed like he was somebody's like stepdad who hated his kids but just wanted to bang the mom.
That's exactly what it was.
That's how it felt the whole time, where he's just like, shut up and try to bang your mom, but he's not anybody's mom.
Yeah, because the stepmom and the stepdad, or like who are the foster parents, whatever the fuck they feel
counselors.
Yeah, like,
and it's just 2 of them.
They feel like if there wasn't killer giant nuclear ticks in this movie, they would all die anyways, because these people are serial killers. Because it makes no sense why they would be in this. It's just the ticks preoccupied. It's like, hey, you actually don't know this, but they were actually going to tie them all up and make snuff films and kill them all.
So I'm just going to say right off the bat, I love this movie. I think it's bizarre.
Ditto.
So bizarre, and it sometimes it felt like Sleepaway Camp, and then it just went bonkers, and then it felt like a second unit filmed some of it but didn't directly talk to the first unit about what they had filmed. And I mean this in the greatest way possible. I had so much fun watching this, but me trying to explain the story, I don't entirely know what happened. It just, people get dropped off, they have weird 5-second conversations with each other so you can identify what character is what. My favorite line of the whole movie, they call me Panic, because I never do.
That's my favorite line. I watched this a week ago, and I've told multiple people where I'm just like, fucking Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is in this movie.
Gangster
and
as
he
fuck.
shows up, and like, I'm like, that's not Carlton, because he's got sunglasses on. I'm like, man, like, am I low-key being racist? Because this guy looks a lot like Carlton, but that can't be Carlton. And I looked up, I'm like, that is Carlton. And he's like, they call me Panic, because I never do.
Shoot the hoop, and I won't kill you.
Yeah, it's just like, what the fuck? And so this feels like one of those ones where they knew that they were going out to make a shitty movie, or they were not a shitty movie. They were going out to make a schlocky, ridiculous movie.
Yep.
And they succeeded.
They checked off like all these boxes for it.
This is what Sharknado and all those other, like, there's so many examples of movies that try to do this and they just don't do it well enough, because that's the thing is, like, yes, you can just, it's so easy to have shitty, stupid characters, but to have them be so entertainingly shitty.
Yeah.
And so entertainingly, like, how they are all connected with each other, and their weird love trysts in between them, and like just the fact that you have a random gangster in the middle of this, and it's Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, scores you major brownie points in my books.
You have troubled teens, you have people trying to have sex, you have Deliverance hillbillies.
That's all I can tell you about the storyline, is that they are the ones who let out like a steroid.
Yeah, and there's a steroid because they're also... Are they... Okay, it seemed like he was cooking meth, but he was supposed to be making a growth thing to make weed bigger.
Yes.
And it spills on a tick. And this guy felt like he was in a different movie up until the very end. All of a sudden, he comes back with all the other characters. Yeah. And he's a famous actor as well. The meth cook guy. Meth pot cook. I don't know.
Charles Anson.
Yeah. He's played a crazy guy in a ton of shit. But yeah, basically there's some sort of formula, and the drug dealers and stuff. And
wait, are we talking about Clint Howard?
Yeah,
like the one who explodes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's Ron Howard's brother.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of shit though.
Yeah, and he's in is it Ice Cream Man? He's in The Water Boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
He always plays a weirdo.
Yeah,
because he just looks like a weird guy. But so there's these
he's a gem, man.
There's these giant ticks that get steroided up, and all of a sudden which is cool, is that they don't have a vendetta. They literally just want to suck on blood.
Yeah.
So it's just these counselors in the middle of nowhere. Like, it doesn't seem like they're at a camp. It literally seems like they pulled over near a ditch.
Man, no, what it seems like is it's like a fucking park, like a school park, because like even the school park that I went to had one of those barbecues in the middle of the fucking place, and it's just like, this isn't a camping barbecue even. Like, this is like they're in a residential park.
They couldn't score a location to actually be somewhere that looked like they were at a camp.
Yeah, if you're in the Saskatoon location, it's Wildwood Park. Like, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. So and then basically these ticks just start attacking the kids and the counselors and everyone around it, and then
it gives them LSD trips though. That's the other thing.
Oh yeah, when it bites them, it gives them LSD trips.
For whatever fucking reason.
This movie shines in practical effects. I think it was built as an engine for practical effects. They were just like, let's make really gross out shit in this movie. And some of it's kind of silly. You have a lot of things where it's just something running up pant legs and stuff. One guy shoots himself in the leg because his pant leg is moving.
Yeah, like that I love so much, is they continuously shoot themselves when they're infested with these ticks, and it's just like, what? Like,
yeah, and like, spoiler and upset warning here, a dog bites the dust at one point.
In a brutal way.
In a super brutal way.
Yeah.
And that's, sorry, going back to what I was saying, is the practical effects for this movie are amazing, and the quote-unquote transformation scene, if you guys actually did watch this, is incredible.
It's really good. And like the thing is, like, the practical effects are the best part about the movie. That's why you're watching this movie, because it's actually surprising how good they are,
and creepy and gross, and they hold up fairly well.
No, they hold up great. But then there's also like this is the era where they're like trying to add in a little bit of computer generated effects, and like it looks like it. I don't even know. It's like YTV used to do this a lot, where there'd just be a splat on the screen or something like that. And like, there's a couple times where they like tried to show blood splatter on the screen, and it just looks like garbage. But it's like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't think Americans had YTV.
They didn't.
That was
YTV was it's an Ontario thing. That's why when Lana was here, Diego and I were up with her till 4:30 in the morning talking about boys and girls and our personal feelings and stuff like that. But we were showing her because like she had never heard of the Tragically Hip or like all these Canadian Great Big Sea, all these Canadian bands, even Billy Talent. But then like, so that meant our brains were like, oh, the best was we also showed her Snow. Like, if anyone's listening, you don't know who Snow is.
Like
Yeah, Snow was like the original. What's that guy's name? Fucking Sean Paul. He was the original Sean Paul. Look it up on YouTube. But what we also looked up on YouTube was the TV show. So like, obviously she had never seen it, and it's like, man, what a weird idea where people send their kids to this game show with a creepy
dude on,
a guy in a gimp outfit, like,
who's called the Punisher.
The Punisher. He's literally in a BDSM suit. Just look up TV show on YouTube.
And Wink Yahoo, the host.
Wink. Yeah, he's just such a creep.
He was definitely like coked out the whole time.
He had to have been. There's no way he did that sober. But they pour slime on the kids. The point of the game is to get these kids in like a coffin and pour slime on them.
It's almost like a weird sub fetish.
It is.
In a weird way.
It's weird. Like
Also,
there are dudes out there jacking off to Uh-Oh.
and then there was like, so this is a completely different tangent, and it's for more of our American listeners because they've never seen like Uh-Oh or YTV. YTV, they used to have like a host, and then the other host was like this goo thing on the wall that spoke.
Yes.
I'm not like
it's so weird. Like that's the childhood that we grew up with.
Yeah,
they play Reboot.
It's terrifying.
Rugrats. Was Rugrats on that?
Yeah, Rugrats was.
Fuck yeah.
And like we had like Radio Free Roscoe and
Radio Free Roscoe,
Radio,
that was the one for the big tools.
Radioactive as well.
Yeah,
anyway,
Reboot
we're
was the
talking
big
about
one.
Ticks.
Yes.
Can you tell me about the cast if you have it pulled up? Because this cast is insane.
Yeah, well, so right away you have you got Seth Green,
who's our main actor.
Yeah, main actor.
I think this has to be one of his first roles.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up because this.
He probably did something before, but I feel like this would be his first main role.
So he's got 188 credits. I'm gonna go back to the very beginning, but I automatically, when I think of like early Seth Green, I think about the movie Airborne. Did you ever see Airborne, the rollerblading movie? Yes, but so I'm wondering.
I wonder what he's doing these days.
Oh, he's doing lots. He's doing well. Like he did Robot Chicken. Like that's him.
Yeah, I guess.
Robot Chicken was huge. Just because you don't like it doesn't. He was also in the It TV miniseries. So he was in that and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie before he was in Ticks.
Okay.
He was also in 90210 for one episode, but Airborne was after. It was in the same year. He looks way older in Airborne.
He must have just like.
I just want to watch Airborne.
Okay, who else we got in here other than?
Sorry. Okay, so I'm pulling up here. Rosalind Allen is the main, like she's like the mom, or like counselor. She was in Naked Gun 33 and the Third, which was a big movie for me when I was a kid. Why are you shaking your head at me?
I'm just like, I wish I could contribute
why?
to this conversation, but I haven't seen a shitload of this.
Yeah. Well, have you seen Children of the Corn 2?
No. I think I own it, though.
Yeah.
I think I have a burnt copy.
Okay, let's be real here. Seth Green and then Alfonso Ribeiro are the
that's
ones
all you need to
that
know.
matter. Like, especially Alfonso Ribeiro. Like, it makes no sense that this man was in this movie. And this was 3 years after Fresh Prince had already started. So think about...
I was trying to figure out why he did it, how it fit in.
No, it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
And why he was like a wisecracking gangster. And at the start, he made it seem like he was really edgy.
Maybe he was into coke at this time, and maybe he wanted to play the badass, and he was tired of being the square who just was like, hey, do the Carlton dance.
But his whole character, like, he was supposed to be the badass street dude, but he was kind of just a whiny baby most of the time.
Yeah.
He was like, don't touch my dog. And then he just wandered off.
He was always doing like a real exaggerated Ice-T impression.
Yeah, and he was like stealing stuff. And then there was two other kids who just wanted to bang the whole time, but they seemed like they came from a rich family because they kept treating everyone else like, take my bags.
That's exactly what it was like. Yeah, and even like Seth Green had that like sexual chemistry with the one girl, but then her back gets sucked on.
Oh yeah.
I feel like so this has to be somewhat of a metaphor for STDs. It has to be.
Do you think so? Growing up story STD thing?
Well, yeah. Well, there's a lot of sexual tension in this movie, and like these kids not knowing what they're up against. I don't know. Maybe I'm digging real.
I feel like
fucking deep.
You're digging real. I think they just wanted to make a movie about giant ticks.
I feel like there's some things that aren't a coincidence. They go off into the woods and they like are about to get romantic, but then his lip gets bitten, and then also her back gets bitten, which is a normal thing in STDs. Is girls get STDs on their back, and Turntable facts, people.
Of course, we know everything about tarantula sex, so obviously we know about real sex.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We know a thing or two about sex. Me and Buzi.
We've had intercourses.
Yes. I've had intercourse like a couple of times.
I've had literally more than one intercourse.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm somewhat of a scientist myself.
Okay, we both know what we came to talk about, and that's the transformation scene with Carlton.
Yes.
This is the whole reason.
It is.
So he gets attacked because he runs away because his dog died. And he gets bit.
Fair.
He gets bit by the tick and starts freaking out, but he manages to kill the tick, except the head gets stuck in him. So, as we all know, because the whole time Seth Green's like spewing facts about ticks.
But hold up. So, yes, he goes into a manic state after his dog dies.
Yes.
And, like, he is kind of like what you expect in, like, there's, for example, people who have seen Walk Hard, like, with the Dewey Cox story, but when he goes fully insane and he starts doing, like, I need more didgeridoos, and he, like, it's the darkest point of his life. That's what was happening here in a tighter scenario. But all I could picture was, like, I was just like, all they're missing is, like, the thing is he's completely sober and he's so overly dramatically upset about his dog, which of course I'd be upset about my dog too.
Yeah, he's like,
but they make it's so close to being like, just slow the frame down a little bit, throw in Behind Blue Eyes over on the soundtrack, and have just like a montage of him being sad. Like,
yeah, like I wanted to see him with his hands in his pocket, just like kick a rock or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just, oh, I'm upset. Like that's
so. Yeah, okay. So he kills the tick, except the head gets buried in him, and he starts just tripping out. And then he's running in. He gets into a field, and there's pot everywhere, and this like pot mogul and his like stupid sidekick are like, you're trying to steal our stuff. So they shoot him.
Yeah.
First they're gonna stab him, then they shoot him. He still survives, and he shows up later, and they're all trapped all of a sudden in a cabin. So it's all the people who are left, these two drug guys, and then Carlton shows up, and he starts freaking out and dies. He dies really quick. He shows up and dies, basically.
Yeah.
And then his body starts twitching. This is when it gets really good. His body starts twitching, and they're like, oh, he's alive again. They're like, no, he's not alive. And all of a sudden, he starts sprouting shit out of his, like, appendages. Like, his arms all of a sudden become, like...
tentacles
and shit. And by the end, it just breaks apart. His whole body breaks apart, and it's a giant tick.
It looks real good.
Looks amazing. Best part of this whole movie.
Yeah.
I would never thought I would see Carlton explode into a giant tick.
No, and that's why I think that this is must-see type shit.
Yeah. Honestly, this is what I love about the 90s, is these kind of... Because they had really mastered, like, practical effects by this point, because you look at like The Thing when it came out, you know,
this was when it was just about to start sucking.
Yes, exactly.
Right, yeah.
But like The Thing had came out, people knew about, you know, Rob Bottin, everybody knew about how to do decent practical effects, and this was a very smaller budget film. Like, this was not huge.
I'm pretty sure KMB still worked on it though.
Yes,
yeah.
But what I'm getting at is, like, this is when you're still seeing amazing practical effects, and a lot of the 90s had these kind of weird movies that had awesome practical effects. We talked about Lake Placid, you know, our last episode. Awesome practical effects mixed with CGI occasionally.
Totally.
This movie looks great in that aspect. Everything else is just a vehicle to get it to the practical effects.
Agreed. Yeah, 100. It's a practical effects movie through and through, and it's also just like a fun party movie. But the problem is, this is the type of movie that, like, a lot of people, like, for example, Courtney would be pissed if I threw this on. I had to watch this one myself.
Oh,
and there's no way she would make it through it. Like, because it's gross. This is gross. It's gross, and it's successfully gross. But yeah, Howard Berger of KMB, or Howard Berger, whatever you want to say it, he's part of KMB. He worked on this movie. Same with Robert Kurtzman. These are all people who are Greg Nicotero. Like, they're all people who are working on The Walking Dead right now. Like, and like some of the biggest things on earth. Like, they worked on this movie. So like, that's where it
shines.
Really shines, and it shows that they like really fucking cared. It was just so weird because I feel like this is a truly undiscovered gem, because I don't know anyone else who's talked about this movie besides you. I looked it up on Letterboxd, and I see a couple people that I know, like Tyler Baptist, had seen it and everything like that. But that guy sees everything that's weird.
Yeah.
But like, this is not a movie that comes up in a conversation a lot when we're talking about practical effects or, like, you know, underseen. Like, this is the type of movie I'd put right next along like Sleepaway Camp and stuff like that, where
it's weird. It never, and I agree, is that I'd known about this movie for a long time, but it never had that same prestige that a lot of those movies do. But this is an awesome movie. Like, we're talking about how all the story doesn't really matter, and it doesn't, because this movie's just about.
But the story's also funny.
It is funny, and
so it's entertaining. That says something.
Yeah, I through and through really enjoy this movie, and I feel like it doesn't get enough respect.
Yeah. I can't get no respect.
Can't get no respect.
3000. Like, our friend Darcy commented on our like Placid post. He said, Started watching The Boys, and it's a true gem. Thank you. Just like Ticks. In all seriousness, Ticks is actually not bad. It suffers from some not so great practical effects and a few mediocre actors, but the effects on the thick boy are the thick boy Tick are great, and every actor committed to their role. Arachnophobia is a big old cheese fest, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I think he might. I don't know where he's meeting about the practical effects, because that's all we're gushing about.
Yeah, we're loving that.
Yeah, but I feel like he might be talking about, because there is some stuff where it's like it's so clearly campy and it's so clearly not realistic.
But yeah, he's totally right though. Is all those characters. They committed.
Yeah.
You even look at Carlton's character. He committed to being the most ridiculous gangster dude ever.
I feel like there's no way he wasn't on cocaine. As a big fan of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I still watch it, like just knowing that character and like him as an actor, it doesn't stack up. It doesn't add up that he wouldn't be on drugs here, or that he was at least pissed that Will Smith was getting paid more than everyone else. So he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go make my indie movies, and this is gonna play."
I'm gonna blow up.
Yeah,
I think this movie is definitely worthy of. What am I trying to say here?
Some praise, some love. It needs some love.
It totally does. I think it's super underrated, and it's one of those campy gems. I feel like. This is what I'm going for. It feels like it should be a cult film.
Yeah.
It 100% feels like it. You could have, people, when they're watching this movie, they call me Panic because I never panic.
They call me Panic because I don't. Like, that's one of the best pieces of shit lines I've ever heard.
It's perfect. And then he stabs a ball, but then 2 seconds later, the guy's shooting hoops with it, and it doesn't deflate. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that. I was like, how did he do that?
Yeah. I wanted to look up on Letterboxd to put our listeners on blast if anyone wasn't into it, but yeah, man, I'm surprised actually. Bryson 2.5, but that doesn't mean that he didn't love it, because once again, back to our shark episode, I gave both those movies 2.5 or 2 stars, and I liked both of them.
Yeah,
but it's because it's a different type of movie, and like maybe am I a pretentious dickhead for not giving this higher? I think I gave it a 3.
I think I gave it a 3 too.
Thoroughly
enjoyable movie.
3 is a good rating to me. Like that's not a bad rating. Like 3 is I'll watch it again or something like that. Like I don't know, but I think everyone just has such different criteria. That's why I'm kind of tempted to do the Andy route and just stop rating movies altogether. Just log it, because I don't know if you know this, but I'm still keeping track of every single movie that I watch this year.
I come and go on it. I still have the app, and I'll check it every once in a while, but I come and go on it.
But no, like, remember when I think we were talking about with Mike Fisher about like we're going to keep tabs?
I forgot.
I'm still keeping tabs, and I am at 199.
Yeah, even if I was
199.
Even if I was keeping track, mine would be way less than 100.
I wanted to get 720, I think is what I was aiming for, but like there's no way I'm going to. I was gonna try and do but I'm just gonna try and get to like a full year, a movie a day at least. But yeah, 199 movies. Fuck yeah.
So
but
I think
keep in mind 2 of those are Fubar 2, because I watched Fubar 2 twice.
Why?
Because it's the funniest movie ever made. It's Saskatchewan. It's where I work. Like
that's true.
That's what my
Fort Mac.
Yeah, like just like tradesmen in general. It's like that is a sight into what I have to deal with every day.
So I guess what we're saying is we both loved Ticks.
Yes,
it was
and
great.
Fubar 2.
And Fubar 2. That's pretty much all I got. I think
that's perfectly good. I'm honest. I'm not going to say like. Obviously, I'm not surprised that you enjoyed these movies, but I'm happy that you did.
I'm happy that you did.
Man, yeah, because this was all a Buzi pick, and like that's the thing is I would have never, because like there's a lot of like these bug movies that just don't land with me. I know a lot of people really like Stung. Have you seen Stung? Came out a couple years ago.
No, I haven't.
Okay, because Jambi and I watched that, and we were both just like, this is atrocious. Like it was a nightmare for us, but just not our thing. But then I go back and watch Ticks. I loved it.
I'm getting really into movies that came out before 2000. Like I really enjoyed Razorback when I watched that, and like watching Ticks and Arachnophobia. I'm trying to dig.
You
for
like
stuff.
The campy 80s and 90s shit. Like that's your bread and butter. But we're also going to be digging. Like keep in mind, yes, we're 129 episodes in. There's a lot of ground we haven't covered,
and we haven't done a lot of big movies.
Well, we haven't done a lot of big movies,
or
but we
franchises.
we haven't done a lot of like different, like the thing you can, if you look at our episode list, you can see what kind of movies we cover, and we're always gonna cover movies that we think people might want to see, like, or people, even if they're things that we haven't seen before, stuff that's going to interest the people who listen to us every week, or the people who are interested in this kind of stuff. We're not going to choose an old obscure movie just because it's like, hey, we should do this because no one else is doing it. It's like, no, I want you guys to want to watch these movies with us. I'm not going to make you watch something I don't want to watch. But with that being said, we're going to delve into some territories that we haven't gone in before, and I'm talking like 1940s stuff, like really old school stuff. We're going to talk about some, but we're going to try and pick these out so that we don't disappoint you all who listen to us every week. So
and I think something in the future that we're going to do, and we talked a little bit about this before, but we're going to basically throw in a little segment in a couple months where we show you guys one movie that most people probably haven't seen that's close to our heart. I have like 2 or 3 choices. I'm trying to narrow it down. I'm sure Mitch has a couple as well as Diego, and we're just gonna figure out, like, these are movies that we hold dear. And it's kind of like when I did The Bay. Bay was one of those movies where a lot of people haven't seen it, but it's something that I want to show people.
Dude, yeah, I love The Bay. Love The Bay.
So we have a lot of cool things coming up. New episode next week. That's my bad.
Yeah, no episode next week, but we will be back the following week. And that week's either going to be our Sleepaway Camp episode or it's going to be our Night of the Creeps episode. Yeah. I promise we're going to get to book club. Like, I promise. I think everyone's done their book except for me. But
yeah, I was the first one done, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy because you are dumb.
I had to learn.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for listening to the Terror Table. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can also check us out on the Saskatchewan Podcast Network, which is currently sponsored by Connexus. Thank you so much for having us a part of your network because we really enjoy being on there. Check us out there. Leave a comment. Let people know about that network and like other kinds of things you can find on there, specifically the story of you.
We love Sean.
We really liked Sean.
And also, there will be no question at the end of this episode, so you don't have to listen to the end.
No, we got it.
Because we're still carrying on your question.
Let's do 2 then.
Are you serious?
Yes, we'll come up with one. Man, you can't just be like, there's gonna be no question. There's gonna be a question.
But no one answered.
I got an easy one. Easy one and it's going to tie into this episode.
I like that we do things on the fly so people can hear the dissension.
Man, we plan everything on the fly. we are fuckheads, so I really appreciate everyone listening. We will stop rambling. See you guys next time on the Terror Table. Stay spoopy. Post credits. Marvel presents Terror Table. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so question of the week last week was who are your top 3 convention hosts that you'd like to meet? If you could plan your dream horror convention, who are the 3 horror guests that you would really like to see? Once again, they need to be living and preferably people who actively do conventions. Mm-hmm. So you can dig around a little bit on just Google
Spitball
horror conventions. Shit. And come up with your top 3 fantasy casts. This other question for this week is going to be much less highbrow. It's just like we talked about it a lot today. Snakes or spiders? Who would you rather be stuck? How would you put this?
Okay,
pitch me a shark death.
Would you would you rather be stuck in the lair of a giant spider and eaten that way, where they like wrap you up and suck your goo out, or would you rather be eaten alive by a giant snake? Okay, so this will be a double question here. Is that like, would you rather die by a snake or a spider, and why? Yeah,
tell us why. Because for me, I think it's infinitely scarier to die by snake, but a lot of you may disagree. So let's hear it. Let's hear about it, folks. All right, we'll see you guys next week on the Terror Table.